in the game to take punishment. He was turning this guy all night, and this guy know he didn't win. And was he tough? Actually, very tough and rugged.
Shakur, shut me up.
Real quick, Shakur.
I'm right here. Shut me up. Shut me up. Hello.
For real.
I don't know why.
Just don't cry, bro. Don't cry afterwards.
I don't know why.
Please don't cry.
He'll take it on the chin. He'll be all right.
You gonna cry, man.
Now watch this.
Man,
watch
you got
January
you on the pound
31st.
for pound list, man.
After the fight, I want you to talk everything you've been talking since I've been baby.
Man, I can't wait.
I'm gonna show you.
Man, I wish it was tomorrow, man. I wish it was today, man.
Man, we could. I'm ready right now.
Shut you down.
I'm ready at any given time.
I'm tired of your mouth, bro.
Bro, you not like that.
During the press conference, Floyd Mayweather responded to Teofimo Lopez, essentially pointing out that talking big doesn't matter once skill, timing, and discipline come into play.
Then I put in the work Saturday night. All of my work is gonna take care of itself. So he could bring whatever he want. He can come in pressure, do whatever he gotta do. He's just gonna bring out the best in me.
You fight, man, because you just want everybody to think you're the best, man. You never fought nobody.
Senior, do not fall when you get in the ring this
Nobody
time,
like
bro.
my son.
I don't want to see that.
Nobody like my son.
Stay on your feet.
Bro, he faster, quicker, smarter.
Gotta have it in control.
More entertaining. More entertaining.
Oh, snap.
Shut up, man.
Bigger.
That double stepping that you do, bro, I got that shit
You're
figured
so
out.
mad. I'm under your
Keep
skin,
on
I know
double
that.
stepping, baby.
Then Teofimo Sr. chimed in confidently, claiming they'll take down Shakur and neutralize him just like they believe Lomachenko was handled, like they've already scripted the outcome in their minds.
I don't think y'all did either.
Oh, so you gotta show it, baby.
I don't think
pressure's
y'all
on
did
you.
either. I ain't see.
Not on my son.
I ain't see Lomachenko throw no punches.
You
for
never
6
been on a big
rounds.
stage like this.
I didn't see Lomachenko throw punches
You
for
never
6
been
rounds.
on a big stage like
I
this.
didn't see Lomachenko throw punches.
Because we
for 6
frozen.
rounds. Okay, you gonna see.
We gonna freeze you too.
You better not throw the towel in.
Come on, man. You out of your mind.
Okay.
My son fought without no
see.
air. My son fought without no air against Cambosis.
You can't fight for
got
your
balls.
son. You can't fight
You
for your
gonna tell
son.
me, man? Come on.
You can't fight for your son.
I bet you gonna quit.
Yeah, okay, you gonna see.
All right?
That's when the energy changed. Shakur didn't fire back with insults. He just smiled and said he plans to expose Teofimo, and that quiet confidence landed stronger than any taunt.
What are the weaknesses? Where are some of the weaknesses in his game?
A lot of the weaknesses is in his mental. I think it's more mental than anything. Again, I'm going to expose it.
You said in your last fight that you proved you were a dog against William Zepeda. What do you want to prove in this one?
That I'm the best. I want to show the world that I'm the best. After this fight, I want to be considered top 5 pound for pound fighter in the sport. And
The contrast was immediate. On one side, it was all hype and bravado. On the other, quiet certainty. Suddenly, it wasn't just trash talk. It was a battle of mindsets, pressure versus precision, chaos versus control.
About T.O. that you gave yourself like the eye. This is the one. I want him, right? Because I'm sure you at a point where you got options. Like you could pick. You could pick and choose. Yeah, I know. Why? What was it about him that you was like, all right, this is the one? What made you want to?
He's on top of his game, bro. I sat there his last fight in front of New York City.
Times Square. Yeah.
He fought Arnold Barboza. He was sharp.
He was static. What's my boy name that was dead to?
He one of the 5-4 kings, whatever they want to call it. So he on top of his game, bro. So if I see somebody on top of their game, my competitive edge just kick in. It's like, okay, I already vision right then and there that I want to fight him. Like I want to be in front of him and see how my style do with his style. So it's more so just who the best.
Both fighters are extremely confident. Teofimo naturally comes across as stronger and more athletic, and he clearly understands the sport well. But Shakur, in my view, is the smarter and more technically polished fighter. He's not rigid or robotic. He's experienced, composed, and knows how to control the ring.
Too technical with Shakur. You gotta make it a little ugly. You gotta make it a little ugly. If you try to be too technical with Shakur, it could be too long of a weighted chess match. You know, certain people don't want to see that. They don't want to see pop shots. You know what I mean? They want to see good action. I have yet to see, and I think you could attest with me, I don't think we have seen Shakur face anyone higher than who he's gonna face next. and that's of me. So, I definitely, commend him at least for stepping up.
I think he's mentally more mature. He tends to stay within his limits and avoids unnecessary risks. Sometimes, when he faces tougher opponents, the fight can feel a bit slow, which is why some critics call him boring. Against Teofimo, I expect he'll approach things cautiously. He's likely to be a careful, measured fighter.
It's time. I think it's really that time for him to really take his first loss and, me whoop his ass to the point where either he quits on the stool or I knock him out.
You really believe that, because everyone will say, oh man, Shakur is probably one of the best defensive fighters in the game. You really believe you can stop Shakur Stevenson?
Yes.
Being a cautious fighter doesn't mean he lacks precision. Shakur has plenty of tools in his arsenal to secure a win, and so does Teofimo. Honestly, if Teofimo comes in as sharp and ready as he was against Vasily Lomachenko, I think he has the edge to take the victory.
Teo beat to Lomachenko, and one of the things that I think that gets lost in that fight against Lomachenko is Teo threw more than 100 punches in the final round to make sure he won that fight.
Yeah, no question. Even in the loss that he had against Kambosos, where he had a puncture, like he had some medical condition in his esophagus that was dangerous actually, and it looked like it.
Right after all the talk about strategy and mind games, Richardson Hitchens stepped in and brought some raw, gym floor truth you just can't fake. He knows Shakur personally, been there since they were kids, living in boxing gyms, sparring at crazy hours, honing their skills long before anyone was watching.
Shakur became really close at a young age. I think we was about 13.
Yeah.
And me and him started off beefing at first, because I was one of the guys that was I started boxing a little later than guys like Shakur. I started boxing like 12.
Okay.
Shakur and them guys was boxing like at 5, 7.
That carries weight because when he says Shakur is on another level, it's not just hype, it's first-hand experience. When Hitchens points out that Teofimo is talented but not quite at Shakur's boxing level, it's not disrespect. It's insight from someone who's lived in Shakur's rhythm and come out unshaken.
At the end of the day,
You think it's competitive though? It's close?
Yeah, I think it can be competitive.
Yeah.
Teo is real gifted. Shakur is real defensive. And, I feel like when a fighter is super defensive...
I love how Richardson didn't make it seem simple. He still gave Teofimo his due, calling him decorated and dangerous, but he kept returning to the same point. Boxing-wise, Shakur is on another level. When he mentioned that Teofimo told him Shakur isn't used to him, you could almost see Richardson smiling through it. Like, we'll see. Because familiarity goes both ways. What really stood out was Hitchens noting that being overly defensive can backfire, but then quickly pointing out that Shakur isn't just defensive. He's a master problem solver, a distinction most people miss. And the confidence he exuded wasn't loud. It was calm, almost bored, like he already knows how this story usually plays out.
When they're trying to be really defensive, it can play against you, but Shakur's a high-level boxer, and Teo ain't on Shakur level. Teo know that, and like I told Teo when I see him, I said it's different. He told me that me and Shakur is used to each other. That's why I feel like it's different. He said Shakur not used to him. So in 2 weeks, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Teo is a 3.5.
Teo, if you were supposed to somehow win, fight me. Fight me. That's the fight that I want.
When Richardson said it's different, it wasn't trash talk. It was a warning. The kind only comes from fighters who've seen what happens once the bell rings and instincts take over. Even when he joked about stepping in against Teofimo himself, you could sense the underlying certainty. This fight isn't about hope or hype. It's about skill showing up on time. Hitchens didn't peddle drama. He laid out reality. Reality says Teofimo has to be flawless for 12 rounds, while Shakur just has to be himself. And anyone who's been around the sport long enough knows which of those is the tougher challenge.
But yeah, but they said they have a game plan. They said they know how they're going to beat Shakur. We'll see, man. Teofimo's a tremendous fighter at the end of the day. I got to give ultimate respect to him because he is one of the most decorated young fighters in the sport today. And it's not going to be an easy task for Shakur, but I just feel like Shakur, when it comes to boxing, Teofimo's not better than him. So.
Right after Richardson framed it as a skill gap you only appreciate from growing up inside it, Gary Russell Jr. stepped in, sounding like someone who's weathered both sides of a storm and isn't impressed by highlight reels. He put it simply, intellect over athleticism. And that's important, not a slight at Teofimo, but a warning. He's basically saying, yes, Teofimo is explosive, talented, dangerous, but explosions don't intimidate thinkers who know how to navigate the ring. At the same time, Gary didn't sugarcoat things for Shakur. He straight up said, "This turns ugly if Teofimo applies controlled chaos." That phrase is key. He wasn't talking about wild haymakers. He meant pressure with purpose, short bursts, closing the distance, landing first, and nudging the judge's attention. When Gary referenced Lomachenko, it wasn't nostalgia. It was a blueprint. He was pointing out that Teofimo has already shown he can disrupt even a master boxer if he commits and bursts instead of just posing.
Gordo, when he fought Lomachenko, if he fights Shakur the way that he fought Lomachenko, that would somewhat poke holes in Shakur's game as far as allowing him to dictate the ring, dictate the revenue of the ring. You know, he'd have to mash the gas, like I say, in spurts. Push Shakur in the defensive, make him want to be defensive, make him question when he punches. And another thing, he has the ability to hurt Shakur too.
I agree with him, hey. Shakur doesn't seek prolonged physical exchanges. He wants clean reads, resets, and space. Gary pointed out that if Teofimo forces Shakur onto the back foot and makes him defensive rather than proactive, the optics shift fast. And in boxing, perception matters, whether we like it or not. But Gary flipped it the other way too. He admitted that if Teofimo sits back, waits, and plays cautiously, Shakur can turn it into a long, frustrating night that feels like 12 rounds of unanswered questions. What really stood out was Gary noting that Teofimo can hurt Shakur, but the reverse isn't necessarily true, shifting the risk equation entirely. Still, he leaned toward Shakur, reasoning that brains tend to outlast bursts of power. This wasn't fence-sitting, it was layered insight. Gary essentially said the fight isn't about who's better. It's about who sticks to their identity under pressure. Intellect prevails if chaos stays controlled. Chaos wins if intellect gets crowded. That's why this matchup isn't predictable, it's conditional.
I always say intellect over athleticism. You know, I will always choose intellect over athleticism. In my personal opinion, if I had to choose somebody, I'm more so leaning towards Shakur. But I still feel that though it's a 50-50 fight. I feel like it's a 50-50 fight. I feel like Shakur, his game plan is to fight.
Right after Gary Russell Jr. laid out that whole intellect versus chaos chessboard, Gabe Rosotto stepped in and somehow made it hit even harder, without ever raising his voice. Gabe said something that stuck immediately. These are champions who still fight like they have something to prove, and that makes both sides dangerous. That's not praise, it's a warning. When Gabe calls this a high-intensity chess match, I don't hear patience, I hear tension. Neither Shakur nor Teofimo is built to coast when pride enters the ring. Gabe leaning toward Shakur isn't about favoritism, it's about evidence. He brought up the Zapata fight, basically saying, "You wanted to see the pocket? Here it is." And it mattered because Shakur didn't just stand there. He absorbed shots, answered back, worked the body, and never lost himself. That's not abandoning his style, it's expanding it. When Gabe mentioned fans questioning whether Shakur had the dog, I almost laughed, because nothing fires up fans like realizing they misjudged someone. Shakur didn't bark, he proved it. Gabe also stayed real about Teofimo, calling him phenomenal and acknowledging his explosiveness and hunger. In boxing, surviving this long means you can't pretend threats aren't real. This wasn't hype, it was recognition that if both fighters show up aggressive, the margin for error disappears fast.
It's a great matchup. You got two guys, they got great skills, but are both really hungry. It's like they're champions, but they fight like they're prospects or contenders. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see Teofimo taking a step back, and I don't see Shakur taking a step back. Even though they have the ability to box, but I see this being a high intense chess match. You know what I'm saying? Who do I favor? It's tough, man. I think Shakur is a great boxer.
The part where Gabe really shifted the conversation was when he talked about the brains behind Shakur. This is where the fight starts feeling quietly lopsided. He pointed out that having Crawford, Ward, and that whole championship think tank around you is an edge you can't measure with punch stats. And he's right. That's not just advice. It's experience guiding you mid-camp, mid-round, Mid-doubt that I love that Gabe didn't say Shakur wins because it's simply better. He said Shakur wins because it's prepared from angles Teofimo might not even anticipate. You can be explosive, athletic, and talented, but if the other guy is being sharpened by people who've solved every puzzle before, that's pressure in its purest form that we can debate style matchups all day. But Gabe's point is clear. This fight could be shaped before the bell even rings. In the conversations, the adjustments, the instincts built over years. That doesn't guarantee victory, but it explains why so many fighters lean towards Shakur. Not because Teofimo can't win, but because Shakur keeps layering his game while staying true to himself. And when hunger meets guidance at the highest level, that's a combination that's genuinely intimidating.
But Teo's that dude too, man. But I would lean a little bit towards Shakur.
Why so?
Just because he showed a different element in what he did against Cepeda. He showed, all right, y'all want to see me stand in the pocket, I'll stay in the pocket. He stood in the pocket with Cepeda. He broke him down to the body. Yeah, I mean, combinations, had good defense, took shots, and showed that he could take a punch. So people haven't seen that side of Shakur, and he demonstrated that. So he got the dog in him. So everybody questioned it.
You step back from all the voices, all the camps, and all the confidence flying around. This fight really comes down to one key question we keep sidestepping. Do you trust discipline more than disruption when everything is on the line? Teofimo brings raw power, athleticism, and that explosive spark that can flip a fight in a single sequence. Shakur brings patience, precision, and a system built to neutralize moments before they even happen. We've heard the confidence, the warnings, and the respect from people who've shared the ring with both styles. And none of it feels fake. That's what makes this matchup dangerous either way. If Teofimo forces chaos on his terms, history shows he can bend even elite opponents. But if Shakur keeps the fight on his own terms, control quietly smothers momentum. There's no simple answer, only consequences. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's break it down. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you next time.